Hello, my name is Jonathan Ballenger, and this is a screencast comparing the two beer review and craft beer community websites, Beer Advocate and RateBeer. These websites both offer a social media type platform for voicing opinions, creating reviews, and interacting with other members interested in craft beer and brewing. The emphasis of both sites is to create a comprehensive body of information related to beer, brewing culture, tips, and recommendations. While both websites offer similar information and features, they differ in organization and layout. I will begin by examining Beer Advocate. Regarding content, Beer Advocate provides a comprehensive array of its features within a relatively small space. Nearly everything on the site is accessible within 3 clicks. There's no sacrifice of usability. Throughout the website, a floating horizontal header menu appears at the top of the user's screen, offering cascading options depending on where the user's cursor is. This keeps the entirety of the site accessible from any page the user may be on. The menu also stays floating at the top of the screen, regardless of how much the user scrolls. The menu is quite thorough, containing a link to the home page and drop-down cascades with articles, beer, bar review websites, events, information about their print publication, and options to donate. They also provide links to the beer trading community and a merchandise store. There is also the option to create an account wherein the user may gain points, or beer karma, via participation in the community. Participation includes beer reviews, uploading new beers, trading beers, or posting in the forums. Users are able to accumulate statistics about their participation and compare their favorite beers against other users on the site, contributing to a sense of community. Regarding verbiage and organization, Beer Advocate presents its information in a relatively straightforward manner. Terminology is simple and easy to understand, though the reviews make use of technical, industry-specific language. The specific terminology is covered in the inclusion of the Beer 101 page, which provides introductory information to those unfamiliar with craft beer. Beer 101 is located within the Articles tab and is relatively easy for beginners to find. Beer Advocate only requires shallow navigation, with most pages being readily accessible in under 3 clicks. There is no overarching sitemap, but the overhead menu makes up for this. Searches can be filtered according to beer, place, event, forum, or articles. This is something of a hindrance, as searching for a beer when brewery is selected will render incorrect results. The filter must be selected before the search can be made. An example of this is putting in the relatively large brewery Anheuser-Busch in while beer is labeled, and running that search will lead to no results. Furthermore, there is no advanced search feature, nor the ability to use Boolean operators. From an aesthetic standpoint, Beer Advocate makes use of a simple black, white, and gray color palette that is free of visual noise despite being densely populated with content. Desired information is easy to isolate thanks to the floating menu. From a usability standpoint, Beer Advocate is relatively easy to use despite the awkward search features. Should you decide to leave a beer review, all you would have to do would be to type it in, a relatively straightforward search process, and then you would choose the beer from the search. And the option to rate it is broken down in a very easy to understand, intuitive way. Points are awarded in 0.25 increments by look, smell, taste, feel, and overall. As you can see, I'm being incredibly generous, giving this beer 5s overall, but this is just to show you how easy it is to create a review on this website. If I can hit the exclamation point right. You're also given a histogram with statistics on what other users think about said beer. RateBeer has a similar content but a different presentation. Regarding content, RateBeer provides the user with a homepage containing links to beer reviews, links to the community, events, brewery, restaurant, and bar reviews, and an account sign-up page. The menu is unfortunately static, meaning that the scrolling makes it disappear. Also, it lacks the cascading features that Beer Advocate's menu has, meaning the user has to do more navigational work in finding the content that they want. In terms of verbiage, Beer Advocate and Rate Beer are for all intents and purposes identical. However, Rate Beer's version of Beer 101, called Beer Reference, also accessible via the homepage. The user must, however, scroll down to see this feature, meaning some beginning users may miss it. The omnipresent footer menu acts as something of a sitemap and is useful for navigation. RateBeer makes up for its less than intuitive menu interface by offering a vastly superior search organization. The user does not have to select the search category before querying, resulting in a more comprehensive list of results and one less step for the user. RateBeer also offers an advanced search feature that can be narrowed to very exact specifications. Beer name, style, country, state, county, province. You can sort by ratings, alphabetically, or highest rating. You can also search by brewery and brewer browse. You can also search by users. Needless to say, this search feature is far and away superior to that of Beer Advocate. From an aesthetic standpoint, RateBeer's interface is very elegant. They recently underwent a design change that made the website vastly more attractive than it once was. It sports a chic white and blue color scheme with information presented in a more sparse manner than on Beer Advocate. The elegance somewhat sacrifices usability in that the user has to scroll considerably more than they would have to in Beer Advocate. However, I appreciate that the search feature is more prominent as well as much easier to use. Like Beer Advocate, RateBeer has beginners in mind with their aforementioned RateBeer reference page. This provides information on styles and terminology that the uninitiated might otherwise find confusing. However, I find Beer Advocate's version somewhat easier to navigate as everything is right here in the user's fingertips. As you can see, there's a lot more scrolling involved, and it's a little bit less comprehensive in one viewing. In an overall analysis, whereas RateBeer provides a cleaner interface and more intuitive /specific search capabilities, Beer Advocate provides more consistent site navigation through the use of a cascading floating menu. The elegance of RateBeer comes at the cost of having less information on the screen, making the information slightly more difficult to navigate. Most pages require the user to scroll down to see all of the information. Beer Advocate, while more concentrated, is still a good-looking site. In other words, it doesn't sacrifice usability, nor does it present a chaotic interface. Furthermore, Beer Advocate's user community seems more cohesive in that it presents a hierarchical system where users are rewarded by participation and given the opportunity to be promoted in rank. This encourages more active participation. Finally, where RateBeer does contain a beer trading community, it is less accessible and intuitive than Beer Advocate's, which is located on the header menu. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this screencast.